Where it says...
Of course, the oldest got it now, but you can drive ahead. The state's got a dam there to try to... This is one of the best salmon rivers there ever was in the country.
Is that right?
Yeah. But you see this picture right here?
Yes.
Here's what it looked like in the olden days.
And it's looking right through those trees.
This road where your boat right here,
yes.
right now.
Okay.
Go off this driveway.
Oh, yeah.
See, this mill pond come way up to the shore here, and they had 2 mills here and a big dam. See, this is one of them that sawed the logs. And the logs all drifted in here. And down below, across the bridge is another town, Edmonds.
Right.
But they had a mill just below it, and this here was a grist mill. But you're right here right now.
What are these guys doing on the ice?
Skating.
Oh. Now, what are these houses? Who?
Those houses.
Yeah.
The old timers was here. They all had a little business, lumber business or something. But they all owned a big home. The people before them had money.
They did.
And they owned a lot of acreage in woodlots.
I mean, because the houses are so grand, were they from somewhere else, or did they?
Majority of them came from Massachusetts. You've talked to her, Rebecca.
Yes, I did. She's expecting us. Oh, she has a lovely little house, huh?
Oh, yeah. Rebecca's very knowledgeable.
All right, so we'll grab her.
See, how's that door open?
Huh? That's a funky door there. You push it down and you give it a little 1960s punch.
Oh.
There you go.
I see.
There she is.
Come in?
Yeah, we'll move you into the back. Is that all right?
Good.
And I can open up the back door.
Oh.
Want me to help you down?
Yeah.
Hang on. Don't do it yet. Let me help you.
You bring a picnic?
Hi, Rebecca. How are you? All right, come on. There you go, buddy. Stay there.
Hey, Rebecca, you got that book with you? You got that book with you?
Yes.
Okay.
My phone's going off. It's okay. Come on in the back. Come on over. We got the front seat for you.
Oh, that's nice.
You betcha.
You're the co-pilot.
Yes. Good. How are you? It's okay. I don't have a lot of time, but what can I help you with? What?
I get a hold of it.
Can I call you back? I have this number.
The truck's moving.
You got it?
Got it now. Okay.
Rebecca? Eric, I'm sorry. You won't believe it. I'll tell you later. I'll talk to you later. I'll call you right back. Bye. Can you sit over on that side?
Yeah.
Okay, now we gotta help you up.
Well, I was going to, but when I did, it started moving.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Nice.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Now we're gonna have the dog.
Bertha likes your house. Come on, let's go, Bertha. Come on. Come on, girl. So how are you doing today?
Oh, pretty well.
Your house is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You keep it up really nicely. I like the red trim.
Well, it used to be white with green shutters, but they had a poultry farm across the way, and they cremated birds, and the smoke was oily, and the white kept getting gray. So I told my mother, I said, if it's going to be gray, we might as well paint it gray.
Absolutely.
Just try to keep
There
it
you
white.
go.
And she said, well, I wouldn't like green shutters on a gray house. And I said, no, we might have dark red. And she said, if you're going to have red, you might as well have red.
There you go.
So we have red.
Dime. Bertha picked up a dime.
Oh yeah? Yeah, she'll eat that stuff.
All right?
Oh yeah, she when she was a puppy, she ate $10 worth of coins.
Oh, gee.
And they had to operate on her to get them out. I mean, 2 fistfuls of coins were in this little dog's stomach.
You got a dime here on the floor.
Yeah.
Must have been the human send on them while they didn't handle.
So anyway.
Rebecca, I've just been
Yes.
down the upper bridge here, as far as we went.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go from here, what do you think?
Yeah, tell
I
us
think
about
it'd be good to start at the Lincoln House.
Okay, you tell me where that is. I'm brand new to the area. It's a lovely town, though. It's very charming. Right down here.
Oh, David's here.
So now, do you have a historical association here in Dennysville?
Oh yes, we had a meeting last night.
Did you tell them you were going to be on?
No, I kept it a secret.
You kept it a secret. Have you seen the show? Have you
Oh,
seen-
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of nice Dennysville pictures.
Yes.
I was sorry they weren't labeled.
Sorry.
I was sorry they weren't labeled so people knew it was Dennysville.
So now, did you grow up here too? Your whole life?
I was born in Edmond. I
That's the next
started
town
school
across.
in Edmond.
Yep.
And then my parents moved to the house I'm in 1927. I've lived there 77 years.
And what about children, family?
I never married,
Never married.
and I had no brothers and no sisters. My mother was the oldest of 13 children, and my father was one of 9. So I had 49 first cousins.
So you said you were a school teacher?
I taught in Lubeck for 40 years.
You lived back for 40 years.
I started the year of Pearl Harbor.
That was a busier time back then, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Lubeck was very busy then.
It's kind of quieted right down now. So what I'll do is I'll just turn around. Actually, I can turn around here. Now, what's happened to this store?
Just closed.
How long ago?
Oh, quite a few years ago.
That's too bad.
Yes.
I mean, would you come down here and have, lunch or something?
No, I didn't do that, but I used to drop in and pick up things.
Yep.
And then there was one C&M over on the hill in Edmonds
Yep.
where you could get.
They had a very nice restaurant in here.
They did?
Yeah. It's patronized very nicely.
Yeah. Well, it's just sitting there now. How am I doing over there? Am I okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So would you say that Dennysville is a lot quieter now?
Oh, yes. It was.
Have you ever seen it this quiet?
Well, the last several years. There you could stop right at the mouth of their driveway, but
Okay, I will.
we can't see Rock Peter.
Like right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
General Benjamin Lincoln was in Washington's staff, and he received the Sword of Surrender at Yorktown. And after the Revolution, when the Treaty of Paris was written, the St. Croix River was named as the boundary between the United States, well, it wasn't the United States then, but between America and Canada. And neither the English nor the colonists knew where the St. Croix River was. In 1604, Champlain and Sir de Monts and others had come and spent the winter on an island in the locally called Schoodic River. But above that island, a stream flowed in on either side, forming a cross. So they called it St. Croix River and St. Croix Island, and the Treaty of Paris called it the St. Croix. So George Washington sent General Lincoln and others down to try to locate the St. Croix River so they'd know where the boundary was. General Lincoln was impressed by the timber and water power. He was very poor after the Revolution. He was a farmer, and his farm had run out. He had a mill, and that was out of business. And he'd been wounded in the leg at Saratoga, and that wound never fully healed all his life. So he was trying to think of a way to earn a living. He didn't find the St. Croix, but he was impressed with the timber and water power. It looked like a paying business to him. So when he returned to Massachusetts, he persuaded 2 friends, a Thomas Russell and a John Lowell, to join him in buying 2 townships in eastern Maine. Township 1, which is now Perry, and Township 2, which in 1832 became Dennysville and Pembroke, because mills and shipyards and a settlement had grown up around Dennis River and another one around the Pennamaquan. and it really was like two separate townships, so an agreement was reached. Pembroke got 2/3 of the area and 2/3 of the population. And when General Lincoln purchased the town, well, he was one of three who purchased it in 1786. He brought his son Theodore, who was 22 years old and a recent graduate of Harvard, down to act as the proprietor. They came by ship, of course, and others came with them who wanted to settle here. Largely people from Hingham or people who had served with General Lincoln during the Revolution. They came in May, and they built a building down near the river where those who came spent the first winter. In 1787, Theodore had the L of that house built. About 1790, his father sent two Chubbuck brothers, James and Josiah, from Massachusetts to build the main house. And after they did, James moved to Perry. He married and raised a family there. Josiah and his family went to Edmonds, where he worked for Isaac Hobart in the mill on Hobart Stream, but he drowned in the mill pond on Hobart Stream, and he was buried at the Narrows of Denny's River, which is right across there.
Oh my gosh.
Then, when General Lincoln and Theodore and the others were coming, they were becalmed off Bucks Harbor. And they went ashore to the Mayu Tavern. And the Mayu children were playing in the yard. And there was Hannah, who was 12 years old, with her brothers and sisters, and she was chewing vigorously. And Theodore asked her what she was chewing, and she took a piece of spruce gum from her mouth and offered him half, which he declined. But he remembered Hannah. And a number of years later, when he was living here, he needed a housekeeper. And he wrote to Mrs. Mayu at Bucks Harbor and asked if her daughter would come and serve as his housekeeper. She came, and the first day she told the servant to set the table for two. And she said, "Oh no, the master has no guests today, it's just one." She said, "If I'm good enough to keep his house, I'm good enough to eat with him." Well, he was surprised, but he found the meal was much pleasanter than when he ate alone. So she continued to eat with him. And then he asked her to go places with him, to Cooper, to see General Cooper, or to Eastport, to see someone riding pillion on the horse behind him. And then she told him she was going back home to her mother at Bucks Harbor. She was embarrassed. People were mistaking her for Mrs. Lincoln, and she was only the housekeeper. So he suggested that she go home, not to stay but for a visit, and come back to become Mrs. Lincoln. So they came back, her mother came, and her brother came bringing a cow for General Lincoln, for Theodore, as a gift. And they were wrecked in the falls, but none of them were lost except the cow.
Okay.
And they came here, and she became Mrs. Lincoln.
Isn't that great? That's a great story.